Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. I was hesitant to cover this. I've been seeing people talk about this in the comment section. I've been getting notifications all through Twitter, but I was hesitant to talk about this because I thought it was specifically just Meltzer who was confirming it. Now I'm seeing Sean Ross Sapp come out. He's corroborating it. I just seen a post from Wrestling Purists. They're talking about it currently at the moment. Multiple wrestling news articles are now running with the story, so now I feel comfortable talking about it because a lot of other people are now starting to confirm it. Link is down in the description box below if you'd like to follow along. New details on Jade Cargill reportedly having heat in WWE locker room. Jade Cargill is reportedly dealing with some heat in the WWE locker room. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that before Cargill's absence, she was involved in a confrontation with Shayna Baszler. The report noted that the incident had been confirmed by several people, but details were unclear. It was said that Cargill had rubbed people the wrong way in the Raw Women's division, so much so that Baszler wanted to fight her. Oh wow. Management learned of the situation and calmed it down. The incident occurred when Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair were working with Baszler and Zoe Stark. Meltzer noted that the issues weren't just one thing, and the belief was that some of the problems were related to the matches and some of them didn't. Another source stated that they believed the tension was worse on the SmackDown side. Now more details have came out. Sean Ross Sapp of FIFO then reported that he asked about the issues and those in the locker room were initially quiet. However, sources claim that Cargill took issue with something that happened, and the word in the locker room was that Cargill said something to the effect of Baszler needed to learn how to work. Specifically, the incident stemmed from a match where Cargill tapped out when it wasn't supposed to be the finish. Furthermore, Sapp wrote that Cargill's video after her return at the WWE Elimination Chamber, in which she demanded respect and said that she was surrounded by wolves, was taken personally by a number of talent in the locker room. Additionally, Jade Cargill's absence was also the subject of heat. Per Sapp, talent heard that Cargill asked for the holiday tour off, but she was told that it was mandatory. Cargill then sustained an injury, and several members of the roster doubted the validity. However, per WWE higher-ups, Cargill was indeed injured and she was willing to come back much sooner, but WWE wanted to make sure that she was cleared and ready to return. Oh wow. Holy shit, I didn't know it was that deep. I thought it was just a situation because I heard about it, but this is my first time reading the article because I like to react to these things live with you guys. I thought it was more so like, her and, Shayna and Cargill just had a few words backstage. But no, this goes a lot deeper. Hey, you know what? I just posted something a couple of hours ago on my community post about Liv Morgan in that push situation. So, for all I know, that probably wasn't even a joke. Like, it was a joke in the sense that it was clearly a double entendre, but like, oh, okay. Because I was wondering when Liv Morgan made that comment, like, damn, bro, that seems a little bit on the nose. For all we know, it could be stemming from this situation right here, because apparently Jade Cargill has heat with all the women in the locker room for the majority of all this. Hell, I wouldn't even be surprised with all the stuff, because I seen that promo with Bianca and Naomi last night. That promo was fire. That's so far promo of the year. I fucking love that promo last night with her, Bianca, then Jade Cargill coming out to beat up Naomi. For all I know, that could have just been real sentiments. Now, I'm not trying to start anything, but I would not be surprised, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people was thinking it, but it was something that you just kind of, like you run with as just a thought, but it doesn't go any deeper than that. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one who was thinking that, it kind of feels like Jade Cargill's taking a little bit of the heat away from Bianca Belair, because, you have two bodybuilder black women who are in the same company. It's not as if I haven't heard Jade Cargill, even when she was in AEW. I think she even made the claim that she didn't like being constantly compared to Bianca Belair when she was in AEW. because she thought she was her own woman, which is her prerogative, obviously. But, you know, now that these reports are starting to come out, and then you see the Liv Morgan tweet, and, you know, like, I would not be surprised, obviously, if what Naomi said were equal sentiments to some of the superstars backstage, considering, you know, with all due respect to Jade Cargill, you know, her coming directly into WWE and kind of getting a huge push out the gate versus, you know, Bianca Belair, for the most part, at least more than Jade, had to work way harder for her spot for the most part. I can probably see why people can be rubbed the wrong way if Jade Cargill starts coming in asking for favors and can we do this, can we do that, when you haven't really put in as much work as the women who are currently there. And not even just in WWE, you know, just overall from your whole career. You know, you look at Jade Cargill, always remember when she first came into wrestling, like, at least from a mainstream standpoint, I don't even know how long Jade Cargill wrestled. As a matter of fact, let me see something. When did Jade Cargill started training? I'll look at that right now. Jade Cargill, I'm curious, when did she start training? Because she's only like a month older than me. Let me see. Early life, professional wrestling. She started training in 2018. 2018 is when she started to train. Because Mark Henry got into the business, apparently. And she debuted 2 years later. Apparently 2 years later is when she debuted. So think about that for a second. She started training in 2018. 2 years later, she debuts for AEW, and her first segment is with the now current WWE champion and Shaquille O'Neal. Then the next thing she does is go on probably one of the most dominant reigns that company has ever seen as TBS champion. Right? Like, that's a dominating win, or a dominating showing as a TBS champion. And I think she's the first ever one, right? If I'm not mistaken, someone can correct me. Then she drops the belt, and then almost immediately comes to WWE, where she gets all this shine. And now, how she's being presented right now, while at the same time, most people are calling her out, not her, but WWE out, because they feel that she has a lack of training, probably obviously due to AEW and their structure, but clearly to most people she doesn't know how to work, which is ironic if she legitimately told Shayna Baszler that same thing. There's so much to this, but just to speak from the other side, you know, as far as Jade Cargill is considered, and I think for me, I don't know, maybe this is a problem for me. I know some people are going to probably focus on the sentiments of the women in themselves and how they feel about Jade Cargill. But also, at least for me, speaking from Jade Cargill's perspective, why are you guys in her business? Like, say what you want to say. I get the working part, if that happens to be the case. But it does come off as massive, massive jealousy. Like, that's how it comes off to me. Now, they have the right to complain. No one is suggesting that they shouldn't complain. No one is suggesting that, hey, guys, the way you feel right now, I get it. I get it. You know, I've had it happen to me at my workplace too. People who I feel personally, were not as good as me, jumping me over as far as positions that I felt that I was warranted. You know, I personally just got my current position like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I felt like I should have got that position 2 years ago. People in management thought I wasn't ready. People in management thought there were other people who were better. It is what it is. Of course I'm going to harbor some kind of jealousy, some kind of envy. That person has a spot that's going to get them more money than me. I want that money. Yeah, the women in that position, they want that spot Jade Cargill has, that they feel, hey, you didn't work for it as hard as we did. You know what I mean? Now, granted, if the women are in there taking liberties with Jade Cargill, because that's what it kind of sounds like, if Jade Cargill is talking about, hey, what the fuck, learn how to work, For her to say that, it sounds like they're taking liberties with her in the ring, or they're working way too fucking stiff, or they're working way too snug. And if that's the case, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know, I've seen some videos of Shayna Baszler training, you know, like actually training as a wrestler, and she sounds very cocky, very arrogant. She sounds like she knows what she's doing, right? So if that's the case, where's that training being implemented in when you're working with Jade Cargill? Again, if you guys want to be jealous, I think that's fine. I think that's healthy. There's no reason to not want to be when you see someone in that position that you've been working hard to get. I get it. Professionalism comes first. Now, is Jade Cargill acting a little bit soft? Right? It's not ballet, it's professional wrestling. Is she acting a little bit soft? Maybe. I don't know. But for her to be walking backstage and you guys need to work, you know, you need to learn how to work. Could be the case that Shayna Baszler was a little bit stiff. Now, whether or not that was on purpose, that leads up to interpretation. But I think overall, I look at situations like this, just overall, you guys really need to rein in the backstage stuff. You guys really need to rein in, because maybe it could just be the fact that we're in the internet age, right? And you're almost forced to see all the makings of the sausage, right? But fuck, bro, I see situations like this, and it just gives me AEW vibes. It really does. It gives me unprofessional AEW vibes, and ironically enough, it's coming from a former AEW superstar, right? Who's the center of all this. Just keep that shit backstage. You know what I mean? You're in the big times. You're in WWE. You should be grateful that you're in this position. You should be looking at this position and you should be saying to yourself, wow, I'm blessed right now. If there's a situation that is legitimately going down, pull someone to the side and talk about it. Hell, even Thunder Rosa did it, right? If I remember correctly, I heard a story when she found out that she had heat with all the women. She stood up in front of everybody and she said, let's air it out right now. And they all talked it out. Now, whether or not that worked, I don't know, but that's what she did. Like, do the same thing, man. Talk it out. Talk it out. And if it has anything to do with Jade getting the spot that the girls didn't feel she deserved, that's her business. Worry about you. Worry about you. Put yourself into a position. Work on your craft to the degree where now you can be in her position. There are so many things that you can do, but sitting there with a pout face on, mad because someone got something that you didn't get. Okay, let's just say that's all you want to do. Let's just say that all comes to fruition. What does that help? What does that solve? Jay's still gonna get the push. You're still not gonna get the push. Or you're still not gonna get her status. People can sit back and they can say, oh, Devontae, you're buttering her up. I'm not buttering up anybody. I'm just speaking realistically. Your hatred is all that's gonna be. It's all just hatred. She is still gonna have that spot, and you're still gonna be here, having egg on your face with the boo-boo face. Why? Nothing of what you're saying, nothing of what you want to do going forward is being realized because you're stuck in this position, worried about what the next man, or I guess in this case, the next woman got. Jealousy is fine. Jealousy is nothing more than something that is a fuel to push you to want to get something that you feel you deserve to attain. But if you're not going to use that as fuel, and instead they're going to use that as a way to break the other person down, then you're the problem. Not Jade. Not Jade. Call her entitled as much as she wants. That's between her and WWE management. When it comes time to be a professional, when it comes time to get in the ring, and none of this stuff is coming to fruition, and you guys have issues, you're the problem. Sorry, not sorry. Let it be known though. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as far as how you felt about the video. Gotta say, very disappointed. Very disappointed to hear news like this. Just because, man, it's WWE. The last thing you need is especially this close to WrestleMania, is to be having problems like this backstage. You see stuff like this and you hear stuff like this, and you kind of wonder, you know, which initials am I seeing right now? Am I seeing WWE or am I seeing AEW? That's the last thing you want anyone to be feeling currently at the moment, especially this close to WrestleMania. Get it together. Loke the fuck up. And put this shit behind y'all. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching y'all later. A deuces and a P. Ice.